Hello, everybody. It is day 7 of Expedition to Soul. We've made it to the end of the 7 days. Not like there was any question that we wouldn't make it. Of course, we made it. I'm going to hang out for a minute until I see some comments come in so that I know that everything is good. And while I wait, I will remind you that I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted, and you are here for Expedition to Soul. This is day 7. It's the last of our 7-day class. Have no fear if you found this late, if you jumped in late, if you missed some days. It's totally cool. Go back and watch it on your own time. Now, I do want to apologize in advance for some background noise that's probably happening today. We have people upstairs doing construction, and I've got Anna and her 2 kiddos in the room next door. So if you hear a little extra chaos, welcome to the family. It's like you're here with us. So hello, everybody. Hello. All right. Day 7 of Expedition to Soul. On day 1, and even before Expedition to Soul starts, we give you your quest pack or your quest pack. We give you your field guide, and in there we ask you to create the maps for yourself. We ask you to create your quest pack, and in that's your preparation for Expedition to Soul, right? Now, if you followed along with all 7 days, or if you just listened, or maybe you didn't, that's totally fine, whatever you did. When you do the map activities first, it's sort of getting you to think about this in a different way and make it personal for you. The thing about Expedition to Soul is that it is personal to you. There's so many online classes or in-person classes or books or whatever it is that there is something that's happening. I'm trying so very hard to stay focused right now. It's just,
I started dancing.
It's not going well. Where there is a specific end goal in mind. Like, you will do this thing, and at the end, you will X, Y, and Z. Now, Expedition to Soul is not like that. And it's not like that on purpose, because we want Expedition to Soul to bring to each person whatever is meant to be brought to them. So whatever it is that you are meant to discover for yourself, whatever it is you're meant to hear and receive, whatever area you want to grow in, the intention you want to set and grow, whatever that looks like for you, we want that to be individual for you. So we begin with the maps, and we begin with looking at what we're attached to in our daily life that might be getting in the way of you moving forward. And even attachments to really great stuff can still be attachments that would act as blocks or barriers. For example, if you had an attachment to physical fitness, where you run 3 miles every morning, you spend an hour on the exercise bike at night, you stretch, do yoga in the middle of the day. That's a very healthy habit. But also, if that is getting in the way of you enjoying your life, if you're feeling guilty because you didn't follow through on your routine, and this is a mess here today. Can you all hear that? This whole place is going to come tumbling down. Yeah. If that gets in the way of you feeling joy, of you experiencing joy in your everyday life, then that's actually can be a barrier to getting to whatever the intention is that you want to have for yourself. So even things that feel great and feel like, oh no, this is the right thing I should be doing, those can actually be barriers to us seeing the next version of what's to come for us. That's why we do the map of attachment, to start figuring that out from the beginning. And then, of course, having your quest pack. It's like your go bag, so that you're always ready to go spend some time to yourself. And when it pops up, when it's least expected, and you can find 5 minutes for you, because we know how hard that is for everybody. And for us, having sort of this quest pack, this go bag, magical go bag of sorts, is the thing that helps us to really stay in our magical practice every day. So we do that. Day one, we bring back our energy to ourselves. We reclaim what's ours and let go of what's not ours. Whenever we're thinking for the future, well, maybe I want my future to look like this, or maybe I want to try this new thing, or I feel like there's something right there, a growth spot for me, and I can't quite see it. Often, just the stuff that happens to us every day, our daily responsibilities, the information we hear in the news, whatever it is, that's informing our thoughts and can inform the decisions that we make or what we accept for ourselves, which is why we practice on day one, reclaiming our own energy, understanding what is mine and what is somebody else's. We move into day two, and that's where I task you with taking time to yourself, considering where is it that you can go in your home, in your kind of immediate environment, that's sort of a different place for you. It's a different kind of energy. Maybe you always sit like this one spot in your living room, but I task you to go sit in a different spot in your house where nobody ever sits, the long lost dining room people don't use. I don't have one of those. I have a small house, but if you have one of those, maybe that room, you're going to switch your perspective and consider, where would you go if you could take like 3 days to yourself or half a day just to you, someplace different? Where would that be? And start to really visualize looking at your time and your use of space around you to be creative and to think differently in a new and exciting way. On day 3, I'm already forgetting what my own days are. How embarrassing is this? I'm forgetting my own days. Day 2, we do the pilgrimage. Day 4 is be your own best ally. Day 3 is the declaration. Day 3, we do our declaration. So a lot of people do sort of like the body scrub thing. We suggested also making kind of like a human-sized grid or mandala for yourself, but it's really taking physical action to show I'm doing this, I'm here, I'm setting myself up, and I'm stepping away from everything that's held me back thus far. Day 4 is the Be Your Own Best Ally Day, and you call in all the versions of yourself, your past self, your present self, your future self, because everything that you did in the past has made you who you are today and has led you to where you are. And all of those pieces are necessary. And everything that you're doing right now is casting the future for you. So think about that for a second. That's so wild. Everything that you're saying right now, everything that you're thinking, everything you're putting out there, it's throwing a line, just like a fishing pole, to a future. And which future is it catching on to? Isn't that wild to think about? Like, whatever you're doing, you're casting the line to a future. And you really have to say, well, which future am I casting the line to? And that version of me needs to come in here because I need that version of me walking side by side with who I am now. Does that person have courage that I haven't yet demonstrated? Has that person made the hard choice that I have yet to make? Has that person lived through this experience that I'm in right now? Or maybe like right now for you, everything is amazing and sunshine and rainbows and daisies, and that person's benefiting from that, but what did they learn on the other side? And that's being your own best friend, your own best ally, and calling in all versions of yourself. Day 5 was the moon day, entering the cave. And that's where we start to see blame, shame, guilt, like all of the emotions that would hold us back on the day to day. So maybe blaming people in our lives for interrupting when you're trying to do your activities, or maybe blaming yourself for something that happened 10 years ago that's still impacting you today, or you feel shame because of something you thought, or like you realized and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't tell people this. All of these sorts of feelings. And what happens there is that we hit that emotional part of ourselves, that shadowy part, and we either fall back to the beginning or we move through the cave. We see the emotions for what they are. We see our shadow side, right? You know your moon, how you're reacting and why, and you push through that and you move forward. And I don't want to say push through. I mean, you carry that with you still, but you see it and you keep moving forward. That's what we do on day 5. And yeah, the moon sign day, we had so many people who didn't know their moon sign, and it is so enlightening, right, to learn about these different aspects of yourself. And I know when I learned about being my Aquarius moon, and just that my husband's an Aquarius moon, and so much made sense in terms of both of us feeling unheard, and what happens as a result, and how it's so meaty, and it's so good, and so much to learn about yourself. Day 6, that was yesterday, that was Talisman Day. And you can create a talisman out of anything. It can be a necklace you have, a piece of jewelry you wear. It could be a crystal. You could find objects in your living environment that you put together somehow, and you want to carry with you. Whatever it is that you want to do. But the idea with it is, with that, is to charge it up by either holding it, sitting with it, putting it in front of you, but connecting to it in a way that it's providing you support and reminding you of everything you've done in Expedition to Soul when you look at it. We just had in May was our fifth birthday, we call it, here at the Sisters Enchanted. And where is my thing? Oh, it's right here. We one of our community members made us these really cool tarot card holders or oracle card holders. See, it sits like this, and you put your card in the slit, and it sits up, and like this. And she sent with it these little, like, crocheted, or I don't know, knotted, I don't know like what you would say it is, little crystal holder necklaces. And something like this, and you can take out the crystal and replace it. Something like this makes an amazing little talisman, because you can wear it on your person when you get to work. If you work someplace where you have like a locker or a desk, you could hang it up at that area. You could put it in your car on the way home. You can put it in your pocket. You can wrap it around like a bracelet. Something like this is so just useful, because you can put it anywhere, and you can remember what your intention is, what the intention is that you set for yourself every time you look at it. And you can hold it, you can connect to it again, and say, remember, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm here for. Y'all hear that? Good old construction. Our landlord she texted us to let us know that the construction was going to happen after it had started. And we were like, we gathered as much when the sky started falling on us. So I don't know how she made these, but our friend Kalina, she's in the Expedition to Soul Facebook group, she made these. So I can tag her in the group, and you can go look for it. And she and her husband made us these card holders. Yeah, that was for our tarot class. We had a 5th birthday event, and we do giveaways. Like, we're doing 7 giveaways here for Expedition to Soul. So make sure that you participated in the 7 daily threads, because we're going to pick one person from each daily thread to win a prize. But in all of our classes, we do giveaways all the time. So we're always giving things away. So participate, and maybe you'll be picked for one of the things. But something like that is amazing as a talisman. So then day 7, we want to do is think back on everything that has come before us and figure out where we are. So maybe you had a big realization about yourself. Maybe your realization is just like that you enjoyed this more than you thought that you would. Maybe your realization was that you want more of something like this. Maybe it was that you really realized how challenging it is for you to carve out time for yourself. You need to practice that. Maybe you realize how much easier than you thought it was to carve out time for yourself. Like, maybe you're like, there's no way I'm going to have time for this, but you did find time, and then you saw that and you learned from it. So what you want to do is, after all of these days, on today, day 7, think back to what happened, what you experienced, what you learned, or just observations that you make about yourself over the last 7 days. And through that, right, you have, through that, you've grown in your experience, and you can see what's next for you. You can see what is coming next for you down the line. And from here, you might want to set an intention to work with for maybe a lunar cycle, or a part of the wheel of the year for a season, maybe from the solstice through the first harvest festival. But consider setting an intention based on what you experienced, what you learned in the 7 days of Expedition to Soul. We talk about intention setting here And the way that we go through it, when we look at lunar cycles, when we teach in our holistic witchery class, you set an intention. You want to put that intention into motion in your life. Start to understand where you're not following through with the intention, like where you're letting other things get in the way. That's your shadow work. And then do really cool stuff to help figure out what's the next step for you. What does your future look like? And that can be using your crystals, that could be vision boards, it could be using tarot, it could be meditating, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you, but you want to sort of visualize it and tangibly do something to help you figure out what's the next step in my intention. And do this again and again and again. And that's how we grow. And that's how we set intentions to expand into that future self that we cast the line to earlier. Oh my gosh, this is so wild. I'm really glad we don't have like podcast recording to do today. Speaking of which, today, if you go to thesistersenchanted.com/blog or just over to our website, our podcast episode on Midsummer is out right now. And you can also find the printable guide there for some activities to do at the solstice, Aletha, Midsummer, whatever you want to call it in your neck of the woods. So we've got some activities for you, and the podcast episode and blog is up. And if you go back to wherever you are watching this, just about an hour ago, Anna and our program director, Sarah Milne, were on with the upcoming weekly astro forecast. So there's lots of cool stuff for you to check out this morning. You can go watch the astro forecast. You can check out the Midsummer podcast or blog or notes or whatever you want to check out. Grab that printable guide. And of course, you can go back through and watch all of Expedition to Soul. So I want to know in the comments, those of you who are here, what was your favorite day? It's usually, oh my gosh, stuff's falling over. It's usually the moon sign day for a lot of people, or the reclaiming your energy is another one I get, or the be your own best ally day. So let me know, what was your favorite day to, and I won't be surprised if there's a lot of moon days and understanding your moon sign. There's a delay from when I say something to when you hear it. So day 5 and 6, moon sign and talisman. I love that. Day 4, be your own best ally. Talisman day, moon sign, allies, day 4, and the meditations. Yeah, you really do have to be your own best ally in this lifetime. That is for sure. And paint objects to represent those. Yeah. That's why day 4 is my favorite. Stephanie, hi Stephanie, calling in your energy on day 1. And a lot of talisman days. I love that. Would not have guessed. 8 times we've taught this, and I still am surprised. Let's see here. Day 6, Christina, putting your new energy and perspective into a talisman. Tarot with your past, present, future self. I like it. Additional guidance on reclaiming your energy. So, let me know exactly what I can help you with there, and I will definitely help you. I think that reclaiming your energy, it's something that it's a practice. So you do it over and over and over and over again. And depending on kind of where you're at, emotionally, you might feel different levels of success in doing it. For me, the idea of reclaiming my energy really looks like doing a thought sweep. What am I thinking right now? And where is it coming from? So any of you who have ever taken our Ask For It class, or even Holistic Witchery with the shadow work sections and things that we've done, really this idea of asking what is mine and what is somebody else's. So what is mine and what is somebody else's? And I do that by really considering, what am I thinking right now? And if I'm thinking like in my day-to-day life, this is something that comes up for me. So my husband and I have very different views on like what child misbehavior looks like. He gets really overwhelmed easily and thinks the kids are crazy. And I'm like, I think they're just being kids. So sometimes my kids will act up, or they'll act like kids. And then I'll find myself feeling overwhelmed, and I have to really stop and think, well, what is my thought and what is me like absorbing my husband's thought, that's making me feel like, oh no, he's going to feel overwhelmed and they're going to feel then it's just going to be chaos. So doing that in any moment though, like whether it's at a store or on the phone with somebody or making a decision and starting to think, what am I thinking? How am I feeling? And why? Where did that come from? So I I do it very quickly, because I'm doing it on the fly. And like, what thoughts am I thinking? How is it feeling in my body? And then sort of say, okay, that's all coming from the influence of somebody or some way that I think I should be being, like fulfilling an expectation of who I should be or what I should be being like right now, or what I should be looking like or feeling like or doing. And that's all expectation of other people. That's not mine. It's not what I think I should be doing right now. It's not how I perceive my life should be right now. And then like reclaim what's mine. But it happens really fast, and then when there's time and space, then I can sit and journal and whatnot. But in the day to day, it's a quick, what am I thinking? Where am I feeling it and why? And sort of separating it out. And that's kind of how I do it. But it is something that I do, frequently. Like it's not, just do it once a day and suddenly I'm like energetically clear for the day. It's not like that. It's constantly understanding what's mine, what somebody else's. What am I actually wanting to have happen right now? And where is that coming from? And is it mine? Right. And doing that. So, and then that's how I do it on the day to day. And then of course, working with other people, taking anything where I'm really holding energy for others, like even just doing a live stream, really, because I'm trying to read comments, I'm trying to understand how, questions, I'm trying to answer, I'm trying to be present. So when something like this is done, or if I've held an event or even just had family over or whatever, I will typically like move my body after. So I'll get off here, I'll put some music on, and I just will like get up, tidy up, go like in the kitchen, pour a glass of water, get to moving to move everything out. I won't just sit here, click off, and then do something else on the computer. I will get my patootie up right away and move my energy in that way. And it's the same whenever I interact with people in real life too, because peopling, as I call it, peopling is energetically exhausting for me. It takes a lot from me, and having to reclaim my energy in that way, but understanding it sort of in a different perspective. So, and you know what? And I don't. And so some people here, it shows up as Facebook user, and some people tells me your name. So I don't see your name, but reclaiming energy is the hardest part for me. I've tried throughout this week, and I just can't visualize it. So rather than trying to visualize it, try something different. Maybe just say the words, I'm taking back my energy, and then do something tangible. Maybe you hold your talisman. Maybe you light a candle and you say, I'm taking back my energy, and then you blow out the candle. Or maybe you have like a special tea that you like to drink. So you can do something physical or tangible, like how I get up and I walk around, right? Like after this, I will get up and I will move around. I won't just sit here. Otherwise, I'll feel like the heaviness, the stagnation will keep building, and I have to let some of it go before I get back into peopling and doing other people things. I am like the most socially awkward human, because in real life events, I say the same kind of stuff. I'll be like, this is a lot of peopling. I have to go for a walk. Let's see here. So let me see. Okay, yeah, more than once a day. Yeah, definitely. Like it's a thing that you'll keep doing, right? And so Lisa had saw 3 past selves, 2 future selves showed up very clearly. And I think I was taking the wrong path to work with ancestors. They should be first. Yeah, I always, we get lots of questions here, and we teach about this in all of our variety of classes too, working with ancestors and like guides and things like that. And I tend to work with my future self the most. Like my future self in considering where is it that I want to be, right? And then that's the first thing. And then when I realize I'm not getting to where I want to be, then I start to ask my present self, well, why am I not there? And then like, what's happening here? You know, like what's the very real issue? Is it a money thing? Is it a time thing? Is it that like I want this thing to look this way, but you know, my actual physical stuff won't match that? And then I kind of look back to the past and think about stories from childhood, younger years, experiences that I've had, or like familial stuff that might be contributing to where I am now. So I kind of think, where do I want to be? What's happening now? And what got me here? And work my way kind of back. But in terms of guides and ancestors or all of that stuff, I always start with my future self. That's just my personal preference. But that's where I always start, is like talking to future Sarah, I call her, because obviously she's future me. And and then I look for like little signs that, you know, that could be my future self. Whenever I see my birth date in numbers, my birthday is December 14th, so I'll see 1214. And I always, if I just look up and see that somewhere, I always take it as a little nod from myself. I love all the people here who also don't people well. JC does yoga to reclaim energy, using your own energy and taking it and harnessing shapes you can control. Yeah, I love that. Hermit. I love this. Yeah, so many not good peoplers here. So many. We're the non-peoplers unite. Oh, Amanda, December 14th birthday also. Do you know, growing up in my high school class and like all the classes before that, there were 3 of us in my graduating class who all had the same we all had the same birth date. I always thought that. And my art teacher, I always thought that was interesting. Yeah, peopling and adulting is tiring. And Lori has severe social anxiety. Yeah, I can get that for sure. It takes me a lot of energy to be with people. We host, before COVID, we hosted these events in Salem, Massachusetts, and I always have to have lots of helpers on hand because just the peopling energy, I forget things that like people need water and lunch because I'm trying so hard to people. So I have to have somebody who can help and think of those things, because I just won't think of it because I'm trying so hard to like stay centered and not go into like panic mode. So I get it. JC used to people well, but after quarantine, I find I just cannot, right? I know, I don't think I ever peopled well, but I do like all of the people here. Probably because we're all similar in our not wanting to people. Anyway, all right, so those are the 7 days of Expedition to Soul. Here's what happens next. You sign up for the shadow work class. If you're not signed up for the shadow work class, you'll want to get in there. It's free. I'm teaching it 5 times, I think 5 different times live. The first time is tomorrow morning, and then a couple days next week, and then there is one 7 p.m. live teaching Eastern time, a 7 p.m. Eastern time, and that is the following Thursday, so like July 1st or something like that. I mean, we're really getting out there. Yeah, July 1st. There's one 7 p.m. Showing, we'll call it, but they're all live, so I guess it's not a showing. It's me showing up live. So that is July 1st. There's one 7 p.m. Other than that, there are 4 more daytime slots, and this Saturday is one. So you can totally sign up. You can sign up for more than one also. It's the same like outline of the information, but I try to use different examples each time. Plus, obviously, the commentary and what questions people ask always sort of changes the conversation a little bit. So if you have it in your schedule, you can totally go more than once. You'll get the replay after within a few hours if you can't show up live. If you do show up live, though, we do give you a free gift for showing up live, our Star Magic class. So if you can be there live, I highly recommend it. The other thing you can do if you're interested is hang out with us in our Holistic Witchery class. So that class kicks off first week of July, and enrollment closes July 2nd. That class is not free, but it is amazing, and it is our like sort of flagship class that we recommend everybody take. So you can check out the link for that. It's on your class page. And yeah, other than that, that's a wrap on Expedition to Soul. So you can keep hanging out in our Facebook group. We have podcasts we put out, videos, the weekly astrological chat, all sorts of good stuff always happening here at the Sisters Enchanted. So make sure you go over to the Expedition to Soul Facebook group and participate in the thread for this for today, for day 7. And you can go back and do all the days as well, day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so that we can put you in the running to win a prize. Oh, and Christina, who's part of our team here, just reminded me that we do have a limited number of spots for Holistic Witchery this time. Normally we can take whoever wants to sign up, but this time we can't take more than 100 people because we send you a welcome box. And we're currently trying to get our inventory sorted, and we only have enough stuff for 100 welcome boxes. And we are still in our testing phase of our brand new app. We have an app, and we're switching all of our community groups to the app eventually. And we are testing it this time around with our Holistic Witchery program. And so we can't have too many new people, otherwise we'll be so confused. So that is why. So there is a cap on enrollment this time, which we've never done before, but alas, this time there is. Hopefully not next time. Anyway, so check that out. And I think that's it. So shadow work, Holistic Witchery, and head over to the Expedition to Soul group and participate in the daily threads so that you can be entered to win a prize, because we're going to send out 7 of them. And also keep sharing with us just what's going on with you with Expedition to Soul, because we can't wait to hear about it. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week. And there is a baby here. There's now a baby back. Y'all want to see Anna's little kiddo.
Look how red his hair is in this lighting.
Yeah, Anna's other kiddo, who's not so little, is across the room staring at us. But that's the baby. The baby babble. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And I'll see you in the group. I'll see you in shadow work. And I hope to see some of you in Holistic Witchery. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.